Y'all, this song is matches me perfectly right now. I'm really upset because um that should not have happened. That first podcast, the first run is still up, but the second half is trash. I had to reshoot. So I'm gonna be doing this review for Pusha T. It's almost dry. My throat is almost dry for all this talking I just did. I went through an hour and I looked back at it. I was like, oh my God, I forgot to turn down the levels of the phone. I could only hear what's going on in the mic, so I didn't know. Um, and nobody told me. If y'all are watching and my audio is trash, let me know, y'all, please. That I could have avoided all that if y'all would have told me that. But anyway, we gonna turn down Mr. Drake here, but I am highly upset at myself. That will never happen again. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. This is gonna be a reshoot. So I hope I didn't get rid of my notes. So if you're watching this portion, this reshoot in the live, the first half, I think my camera froze around like 30 minutes into the podcast, if I'm not mistaken. I talked about the Coachella performance weekend. I recapped that. Um, Candyman is back. Candyman, you see my guy right here. You see the swag? Hold on, let me switch. Let me switch real quick. You see the swag right here, man? The man got the LA on his boots with Kendrick look crazy, man. But yeah, man. I talked about Kendrick, what I want from him, what I expect from his next album. I had to talk to the haters a little bit. Those who say he been in the house too long. Kendrick can stay in the house as long as he wants to. He deserves that, right? But um, and then I gave a track review for Absol Hollandaise. So y'all go check that out. That's gonna be on the first half, which everything was working perfectly up until I got to the Logic segment. So that's what I'm gonna start with. So Logic, um, he put out two new tracks, Tetris and Decades. I'm gonna be going over Tetris more so than Decades. Not really much to say about it, as far as well, before I get into that track, let me just talk about my State of the Union address as far as Logic is concerned. Um, I was first introduced to Logic Under Pressure. I heard the album or like the track on Pandora, and then I got hooked ever since. But just gradually from Under Pressure to the great story, the amazing story. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The incredible true story. How could I forget? The acronym is TITS. So that was awesome. And then everybody, that's what I liked everybody after a couple more listens, but that's where it started falling off for me. And and my main critique with him is that he cares too much about what people think about him, and he's always like, I'm black, I'm white, I'm black and white, all that. So that kind of irritated me. But as far as his beat selection is amazing, Six amazing producer, all that. So you can expect that on this project as well. But just how Logic kind of went out before he retired, which I'm about to get into that whole thing. Which he came out of retirement like Jay-Z. He did the Kingdom Come on this, y'all. And rappers are liars. But anyway, so as far as the last couple projects that he put out, um he did Under Pressure 2 or No Pressure, and I thought he should have ended with that. I thought it was a good project. I thought it was nice to end the career off of. But if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong on this, but I think he put Bobby Tarantino 3 out after uh No Pressure, and then that did not really meet my expectations because I like the first two, the boom bap and the trap kind of meets, and that was not on that mixtape, mixtape mark album marketed as a mixtape, which is another pet peeve of mine. And I don't think he stuck to what Bobby Tarantino should have been. It was a lot of pop type tracks on there. I was like, this doesn't match. This doesn't match up. So I mean, like some of those, some of the tracks I did like. I think one of the tracks is Untitled. I think that's one of my favorites on there. But other than that, Bobby Tarantino 3 was forgettable. But that's kind of where I am with Logic right now. So hopefully I can, you know, reinvigorate my passion for Logic with this next project called Vinyl Days. So from the, uh, I guess the title of the album, Logic likes to dig in those crates, get those old school beats, those samples. So that's what I'm expecting on this. Maybe with some trap production, probably. But the first single we got out of this was Tetris. The production was cool. Of course, that boom bap feel. And then was he really talking about anything in this video other than what he usually says, positive messages. I think he said something about like investing money in crypto instead of, buying gold chains, things of that nature. And he threw the marriage bars in there. I call them the chance bars. If y'all heard last Chance the Rapper's last album, the chance bars, man. We gotta let people know he married, right? But yeah. So I wonder how old girl's doing. What's his last girl's name? Jessica, Jesse, something. I forgot her name. But anyway, yeah. So he talked about that, but yeah, it was a cool track. But at the same time, like I said with Absol, you're coming out the house, you need to make a statement. I don't think Absol did that with Hollandaise. It was a cool track. And with Logic, this is not ooh, I'm ready for the album. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when he said, let me switch cameras. You said this, Logic, on Under Pressure. I think it went along the lines of releasing a single is like releasing a trailer to the movie you haven't seen. It's something like that. The Logic listeners, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, what I'm trying to get at here is releasing a single before the album, and how he was against doing that. So I wonder what happened. I guess it's the label. I guess I don't know why he's still on Def Jam. I don't know. I guess he's still like the breadwinner over there. I think he sells the most, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Logic, you said that, man. You said that. I need to pull it up. It's been a while since I listened to Under Pressure anyway, but fans of that album, you know what I'm talking about. So, I think I'm gonna get off Logic and let's get into this album review here. So, Pusha T, is almost dry. So I got one more run in me to do this album review again. I thought the first time was great. Now I gotta redo this. All right. So I'll start from what I was expecting as far as this album is concerned. Of course, I was expecting Coke bars. That's what you're gonna get with Pusha T. You're not gonna get, some uh, conscious album or not even like a party album or anything. Like it's just gonna be 15 million ways to rap about Coke, and that's my main critique about him. And I just don't feel like I really got anything new, anything profound from him. It's just like how many times do you rap about Coke, man? It's like it gets old. But at least that's for me. But some people, I get the appeal, and I know his place in hip hop. But I really have a hard time seeing it. But as far as that, you had the Coke bars. Was I expecting anything as far as throwing any diss towards Drake? I'm pretty sure. I guess he recorded his album before Drake put that little track out or whatever, the little lead track. And I'm not interested in a reignition of that feud or whatever because Drake should have came out when it was time to come out. but his daddy, Jay Prince, told him, to go sit down. And now you want to do something. No, I don't want to see it, Drake. I'm sorry. I'm upset. But no, I don't want to see that. But Pusha T said, hey, um, he still wants the smoke. So I guess he just waiting to release the full track if it does come out. As far as I know, it's just like a leak snippet or something like that. I haven't gone out of my way to listen to it. I don't care. Um, ooh, y'all gonna think I'm sniffing coke up in here. I got a little cold going on. So we gonna start track by track and what I thought of each. Brambleton, I just thought it was a lackluster intro. I grade my albums, and the intro and the outro is a heavy part of my album review as far as my grade. And I just don't think it started off well. It was just an okay track to me. Now I thought the next track, "Let the Smokers Shine the Coupe," I thought that should have started this album off. It was a hard beat. Kanye did his thing. I assume Kanye had most of his hand on the production. I didn't look up any credits. It just sounded like something Kanye would do. He was just like boom, 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 boom. I could just see him smashing the pad doing that song. So the beat was fire, and I thought that should have served as an intro instead of Brambleton. And then Dream of the Past. I like the Stevie Wonder sample. So that was cool. Kanye on here, he had his verse. Kanye was on here 2 times, and this first verse, it was kind of weird because it's like at times his voice would be like way up here and then just go down here. And it's like Kanye was just, I don't know, he just sounded depressed on his album for whatever reason. Definitely on the second track, Rock and Roll, where I guess he kind of threw some Kim bars out there. He was talking about, having to go pick up his child or something like that. And he just sounded like, I'm like, Kanye, pick up the energy or just stay on production. So um, that was my critique as far as the Kanye feature. And then going to Neck and Wrist, Jay-Z, he had a line on there about Biggie, and people say if Biggie was still alive, Jay-Z wouldn't even be a thing right now. So he addressed that, and putting him on a list with other people and stuff like that. So stuff you usually hear other like podcasters or reviewers say. He kind of threw that in there, so I thought that was cool from Jay Z. But other than that, that was the only part I really liked. Jay Z's verse with Neck and Wrist, and then next it goes into Just So You Remember, and I gotta say on this one, nothing really stuck out to me. There was a line on here that he said, "The Book of Blow and I'm the Genesis." So this is the Book of Blow and I'm the Genesis. So I thought that was a cool line from Pusha T. Also you got Diet Coke. Uh, that kind of got on my nerves with the constant sample from Fat Joe. Crack, 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 crack. They could have took that out. But yeah, I did like the opening. The yesterday's price is not today's price or something. I may have it mixed up. Um, then we get into Rock and Roll. But yeah, like I said, Kanye, his verse was kind of trash, but the beat, the infectious sample, Kid Cudi, the only thing with Kid Cudi, he didn't hum enough. I needed some of that from Kid Cudi. There wasn't enough of that. But yeah, so that was Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll was cool. Call My Bluff. Nothing really to say on that one. Nothing really stood out to me. That's probably a skippable for me. Scrape It Off was a unique song as well. Because it's kind of like old meets new. You had I was gonna say Wiz Khalifa. Lil Uzi Vert and Pusha T. It's kind of weird seeing them both on the album together. So I guess that was Pusha T making an effort to bring in the new school, I guess. And then you had Don Tolliver on there. I liked his verse on the Donda 2 listening event I think it's Broken Road or Lonely Road or something like that. Um, and I like his voice on this as well. So I gotta check out more of Don Tolliver. Um, but yeah, this is probably the most melodic song that was on the album. And then we go into Hear Me Clearly, Open Air. Uh, other other ones, like I said, just something I wouldn't necessarily go to, but cool tracks, I guess. And then you get the end of the album with Pray For You featuring Malice. Malice now, keep it didn't say no malice, it just said Malice. So what y'all think about that? And is it possible that these two could possibly have a reunion? So what makes me think that is well, before I get to that, um I'll save that for the end. Let's talk about the production. Um I like the organ played throughout the song, very church like. So no malice. He changed his ways, so to say. So I guess that kind of fit with him. I don't know if he's still going the Christian rap route or whatever, or he's gonna change it up. And then only thing that stood out when we were Pusha T is said he has a son named Bricks. I'm like, are you that into the life that you got to name your son after some type of coke euphemism or metaphor or whatever word I'm looking for? Um, but yeah, Bricks. He has a son named Bricks, and then we get into Malice's part, and he said something like, "I greet you with the love of God that don't make us friends. I might whisper in his ear, bury all of them, put the ring back on her finger, marry it again." So is he talking about like going back to rap, like rapping with his brother, possibly doing another clip, some type of reunion album? That be something I want to say. I think when they both come together, they make good music. But Pusha T without maybe that's it. Maybe Pusha T is just missing Malice, and he's missing the other half. At least that's what it is for me. Pusha T by himself just really doesn't do it for me. I mean, he came hard with that, uh, with the diss, but that's because he just came out with that information about Drake's son and all that. So that was that shock factor. But I just don't go out and just look for Pusha T like that. But let's go ahead and get into favorite tracks, and then I'll end this off. So my favorite tracks, of course, Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe, Dreaming of the Past, um, I guess Neck and Wrist for Jay-Z's verse, Diet Coke, Rock and Roll, uh, Scrape It Off, that's 6. Uh, and then I'll say pray for you. Pray for you. So that's 7 out of I didn't count total, so let me count real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tracks. If I count it right, 12 tracks. So 7 out of 12. That's not bad. Um, so it's not a total loss, but it's just something I can ride to, but nothing. The replay value isn't there for me, so that takes it down quite a notch. The intro wasn't there. The outro was cool, and there's some good tracks in between. Um, and I'll give it a borderline B. I should say C plus, but I'll give it a borderline B, so the stands don't come after me. Okay. But anyway, guys, so that's gonna do it. That's been the Catch Up Podcast 21 reshoot. I had to do this thing the right way, guys. So anyway, if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you are a subscriber, please stick with me, man. I I made a little oopsie, stick with your boy. But that will not happen again. But anyway, guys, it's a late night. I gotta shut it down. I'm gonna go ahead and get this re-uploaded up to you guys. Tell me y'all thoughts on the album. What y'all think about my talk about Logic, and go to the live portion of it. And if you haven't already, and catch maybe the first half of it. And yeah, so sorry about all the the jumbleness, y'all. So We'll do better next time. But anyway, that has been your episode 21 edition of the catch up. I'll see y'all next time. Candyman is coming, y'all. I'll be there.